Shalom, Israel. This is Priest and Officer Pariah Allah from the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana out here in Connecticut. And today we're going to talk about abortions and how that's a sin. You know, the Lord wants us to make babies to help build a nation. And through building a nation, it's going to be through childbirth. What we need to realize, and this is why scriptures tell us to separate from and to come out of Babylon, to separate from this world, and to separate from everything that's of this world. I'm paraphrasing, because this world allows us and wants us, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, our women, to abort our children.
They cause division. It's a trickle-down effect. They cause division within the household. It allows our women to run out there and be whores, because when the father is driven out the house, it forces her to get with somebody. It forces her to get to the point where it's hard to find somebody who's going to deal with her and her children that's out there, especially young. Nobody wants to be tied down. This is the mentality of a lot of our youth, you know? Because the way our children are being raised by this government and this society. And the society has no love for our people. Our society wants us extinct. Our oppressors wants us extinct. Our oppressor have no love for us. Why is that? Because we are the Lord's chosen one. We was given the promise. We was given the covenant to the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, you know, the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We was given that to. And our oppressor is livid from back around the time of Cain and Abel to now. Our oppressor hates us. Any other nationality could do something to them, but they have a hatred, a perpetual hatred, like that, like in the scriptures, you know, towards us. Now, I'm gonna go into this story that I saw, in the New York Post. It was actually yesterday. That was a little. It's not a little. It's a lot. It's very disturbing, given that there's a pandemic going on now, and it's things that, if the pandemic wasn't going on, it would just be business as usual. But they found a way for women, and this is mainly targeted to black, Latino, Native Indian women. Home abortions during this quarantine, this coronavirus quarantine. Now, you know, there's everything's wrong with this, for one. You know, from a spiritual aspect and common sense aspect, because if I'm gonna just play devil's advocate for a second, and you know, say, all right, if I wasn't looking at it from a spiritual sense, I'm looking at it from a common sense. And if we're supposed to be social distancing, as our oppressors say, how are they having abortions? How are they even getting around to sleeping with somebody that they don't want to have a kid with? Because technically, people should be distancing themselves away. Now, this is me if I was out in the world, if I didn't have any knowledge, understanding of these scriptures. I'm supposed to be away from whoever if they're not living in my household until this pandemic is over. You know? So, at the end of the day, it's, you know, you know, the people that's getting abortions obviously is having kids with people they can't see having a life with or a family with. Why? That means people sneaking and they're around people they shouldn't even be around during this pandemic. Now, this is looking from a worldly aspect. But now, getting back on the spiritual aspect, you're sitting here and you're destroying the Lord's people. You're supposed to be sitting there, and now is the time to have babies because we're home. We can sit there. We can have family time like the way the Lord intended it to be. We can sit down. We can have dinner at the dinner table. We can do our homework. We can teach out. We can homeschool our kids. We can teach them the way we need to be teaching them, the right way. Husbands or wives, you know, they coming home or they're essential worker. They come home. Time is being spent, family time, building the family. The Lord put it like that. And these women out here that's doing this have the audacity to be sitting, to be having abortions at home. So this is why the 1 year rule, and I'm gonna just sidebar for a second. This is why the 1 year rule and the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana is so important, because it avoids situations like this. Because if we took the time to get to know each other, we wouldn't have that hatred and that regret when we're stuck. We wouldn't be stuck in relationships that we don't want to be in. The 1 year rule allows you to get to know the person, to develop a friendship, to build a bond, and to eventually, when that 1 year is up, marry if both parties agree and feel that comfortable, because marriage is forever. You know, the only thing that would decimate marriage would be death. Death, living, or plain death, being 6 feet under, or committing adultery, because that's going to lead to death. Either way. You know? So I'm going to get into this story. It's called, it's in the New York Post. It was posted yesterday. And it says, women are getting abortions from home during corona quarantine. Okay. Now, it says 50 years ago, women were still fighting for their legal rights to an abortion. Now it can all be arranged online. A new service called Teleabortion connects women looking to terminate their pregnancies with a doctor who can virtually prescribe miscarriages, inducing pills to take at home. The New York Times reports, as the coronavirus lockdown stretches into its third month, women are looking to use the telemedicine option more than ever because limited access to clinics, especially in conservative states. Throughout March and April, teleabortion, which is offered in 13 states, helped twice as many women obtain abortions than in January and February. A report states, as of April 22nd, the service had confirmed 611 completed abortions. 611, completed abortions. Ashley Dale of Hawaii opted to use the service because of the expenses of traveling to a clinic in Honolulu, 200 miles away. The alternative would be to wait for a doctor to come to my island in 3 weeks. Dale, 35, told a teleabortion doctor by then she would be past allowed limit of 10 weeks. The pregnant, To use the pills, she's only allowed a limit of 10 weeks to be pregnant to use the pills. It is not like it was easy, but at the same time, it's pretty clearly the right choice. Another woman used teleabortion because she didn't want to face the protesters outside her local Planned Parenthood in Salem, Oregon. I just don't want to deal with that ridicule. Dawn 30 tells the Times. One woman made a call from the parking lot while sitting in a car. Some women are even traveling to one of the 13 states where teleabortions is offered in order to be eligible for the pills. The trend is picking up even more during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have had patients who cross state lines in order to receive teleabortions. Dr. Elizabeth Raymond, Senior Medical Associate at Gynecology Health Projects, which runs the program, tells the Times, earlier this month, a Texas woman drove 10 hours in the snow to New Mexico and stayed in a motel just to receive the pills. Once women are approved for the abortion, a package is sent to their homes and is comprised of 2 pills. Mifepristone, which blocks the hormone that causes pregnancy to mature, and misoprostol, which helps the body get rid of fetal tissue. Often experience cramping and bleeding. Teleabortion charges about $200 to $375 consultation and pills, which comes in a package of tea bags, peppermints, maxi pads, prescription ibuprofen, and nausea medication. The Food and Drug Administration is allowing the service to operate. Now, this is clearly off. I don't care what anybody say. The Lord said, "Thou shalt not murder," and a lot of our people are in these Christian churches. If they're not in the Christian churches, they are in a Muslim mosque. They're dealing with some other religion other than what they need to. Jehovah's Witness, same nonsense. The bottom line is this is permitted and they allow this. And they use the same Bible that it tells you that thou shalt not kill to try to justify having abortions. This teleabortion pill that's given out is just the beginning, no matter what. So that what our president is telling us is they stopping at no limit to kill our babies. And what we have to do, our women have to do, is not fall for that okie doke. And not falling for the okie doke means not just meeting a dude and sleeping with him the same night. And sleeping with him unprotected at that. What we need to do is, in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we teach men and women. We teach men to be men and women to be women. And the sisters in this school also teach young sisters coming into this truth how to be women. I'm going to get into the scripture that tells you about that, the aged woman. I'm going to get into that a little later. But the thing is, we have to look out for our people, our young men out there, our men out there, young men, our young women out there. We have to teach them that this is wrong. We have to push this. We have to let them know it's all right if you have a baby. If you get pregnant and the dude leaves you, he decides to leave you, don't worry about that. Don't kill your baby. Commander General Yohana will take care of him. We will take care of him. Understand that you have a family here. We're here for Black, Latino, and Native Indians. We are a family. You lean on your brothers and sisters for help. Men, if not 99.9% of us, 100% of us can attest for the brotherhood in this organization. ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. Abortions is not the answer, because that's murder. This government, this society allows it because they know it's wrong. And if you do that and you sin, then you know you will be charged. The Lord will deal with you. But is the Most High, he'll turn a blind eye for your ignorance. He winks at your ignorance. You know? You come back to him, your slate is clean. So understand that if you was forced, if you was pressured, and this is for the women out here, if you was forced, pressured into doing something you didn't want to do, don't beat yourself down. Don't do it again. Don't fall for these teller, for anything that's going to allow you to kill your children. Don't fall for that. Because this government don't give a damn about any Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian on the face of this earth, from the four corners of this earth. Our oppressors, the so-called white man, the Chinese man, African man, East Indian man, all these other nationalities, nations hate us. They hate us. They hate us to a T. You know. We got to come out of this madness right here. Now, I'm going to go into a scripture, Deuteronomy 28 and 56, because right now, you know, we have to hold ourselves accountable, and we have to step up and say enough is enough. We see what's going on here. If anybody got any bit of common sense, I'm talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man and woman, if you got any bit of common sense, you can see that our oppressor do not have a hold on what the Lord, this COVID-19, the Lord have put out here for the wicked people in this world, you know, for our oppressors. If you can't see that they do not have a hold on that, every other day you look, one of the government officials from either state, pick one, don't have an answer. Trump don't have an answer. You know what I mean? Trump do not have an answer. You know, you want to know why? Because the Lord creates all things. Understand that. The Lord creates all things. Good and evil. You know? So I'm going to go into this scripture, Salakia. It says Deuteronomy 28 and 6. It says, a tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, towards her daughter, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Now, this wicked woman that's sitting here that have no respect for her husband, for her kids that's already born, and for the newborns, having abortions, getting rid of them, leaving your kids at home while you go party and turn it into what's that they were saying last year, hot girl summer, or they want to sit there and chase the ballers out there, the cats that's gonna knock them up, and have them going to the same clinic. They're gonna be evil towards the whole family. And you see that a lot. You hear stories, Society make it out where the so-called, the so-called black man is the demon that's running around. And I'm not saying they don't. They run around sleeping with every female out there. I'm not saying our men out there ain't doing that. That's out there in the world. But understand that a lot of our women have conformed to the ways of our oppressor, which is evil and wicked. And part of that evil is having abortions, and no respect for the husband, no respect for the kids, leaving the kids. See that in the white households. And if they do, they have the money where they can pay for a nanny so they don't have to deal with the kids. So they can mask that. Our women don't have that luxury. But understand that our women will leave our kids to have a good time instead of nurturing and teaching and raising and loving that child and loving their husband and serving their husband. That evil woman is wicked. Why? Because she will stop at nothing to get the want of all things, the want of this world, the want of this society, the want of having the fat cars, the nice homes, the pocketbooks, the shoes. That type woman is evil and wicked. And she will stop at nothing for the want of all things. That type of woman right there, she'll be able to match her damn outfits and her pocketbook with her shoes. But she wouldn't be able to match her damn kids with their daddy. Because she is a scandalous, evil, wicked woman. And this is why, if you're that type woman and you're out there listening to this class, stop it now. Change your ways. If you want life, you want the Lord to forgive you, you stop what the hell you doing. Getting these classes. If you gotta get online, you can't make it to a class near you, you find out a physical class, a school that's near you. But we're located all across this world. There's no excuses. Now, let me get back to 57. Oh, excuse me. Drop that. Let me get Lamentations 4 and 3. Just bear with me 1 second. But the thing is with our women are destroyed because it's a cycle that we have to break. We have to break that cycle. And it starts from the men, It starts from the men coming back to the Most High, fearing the Most High. A man respecting and honoring and giving reverence to our King, our brother, Yahushua Mashiach, which y'all know is Jesus. The man coming back and respecting his brothers and coincide with one another and not have hatred to one another and not even having a reason to have hatred towards one another. And that brother coming back and loving and caring and respecting the sisters out there and wanting to be a father and wanting to keep his household together. That's where it begins. But also women, when you have a man out there that's doing that, the mirror and you gotta reevaluate yourself. Because if you had more than one abortion, that's one too many. And that's why you need to stop. The Lord will forgive you. And he says it there, not because I'm saying it, because it says it in the scriptures. He will forgive you if you come back to him. You get a clean slate. So understand that we have to build. We need more childbirth. We need to bring more babies back on this earth. We need the prince and the princesses of the power, Yasha Allah. We need to help build this nation up. Abortions is not the answer. Now, I'm gonna do Lamentations 4:3. It goes, well, I'm gonna start at 2. It says, the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers? As earthen pitchers, the works of the hands of the potter. Now I'm gonna go to 3. Really, this is 3. Even a sea monster draws out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is I'm gonna say that again. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. Now, if anybody know anything about ostriches, they basically they have no maternal instincts for the youngins. Like they leave them. They're clueless. They'll sit there and leave their youngs there, the babies there to basically fend for themselves, defenseless. You know? And I'm going to go into Job 39:14. And it says, okay, I'm going to start at 13. Givest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forget that the foot may crush them, and may crush them, or that the wild break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because the powers had deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted to her understanding. What time she lift up herself on high, she scorned the horse and his rider. Our women, the black, Latino, Native Indian women, are hardened towards her children. You see a lot of it going on in the news all across the country, all across the world, where our people are, where you're hearing our sisters leaving the children, neglecting them, leaving them in cars, killing them, drowning them, murdering them. Whether they in the stomach, our kids are defenseless, or if they're already born. You know why? Because because the Most High had deprived her of wisdom, and neither had he imparted to her understanding. So the decisions our women make is emotional. They don't lie. They don't use logic. Their logic is emotions. They have no logic. They think with emotions. They're mad at the man or the baby father, as they'll say out in the world. They mad because they not with them. He moved on, or he has another rib, and she gets mad. So what does she do? The son or the daughter may look like the father, remind her of the father, And you hear this. You hear this time. It's been going on for as long as I can remember. You know. They end up killing the babies, drowning them, throwing them off a building, throwing them out the window. You know, you hear horrific stories of our women doing that. Why? Because she's hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. It's like she just having the baby like she's having a new pair of shoes, you know? That's the problem with our women. Because they push everything, all family values, all family, from the husband down to the kids, to the side for the want of all things. Why? Because the Lord, He deprived her of wisdom. So she's going to make rash decisions like that. And I'm talking about all our women. Not all, but the ones that fit in this category right here. You know? What we have to do as a people is, for one, like I said, the men out there, we got to teach our young men to be responsible. We got to teach them, hey, it's all right to chick look good, but at the same time, understand, you know, because you hear a lot. I've heard stories, I've counseled, you know, many young couples, you know, just through the passing, they just talk and, you know, and a lot of them mainly is, you know, a lot of my kids, friends, so forth. But anyway, not to get into it, but you hear a lot of stories of guys, you know, in the middle of being intimate, they would tell, you know, the females, you know, they want them to have their baby in the heat of the moment. And then when they finish, all that, whatever they was feeling at that moment, it goes out the door. Female end up getting pregnant, and then what happens? She's caught in between having an abortion, keeping a baby, or having an abortion. Now, being that the two dudes done ran off, he's like, nah, I ain't want it. You know, I was just saying it, whatever excuses they come up with. She's not thinking. Why? Because the Most High deprived her of wisdom. You know? Neither had He imparted to her understanding. You know? And now she's mad, she's upset, she's livid. So what does she do? If she do decide to keep the baby, she keep the, you know, a lot of women do this. They would keep the baby in hopes of trying to hope that this dude would change and come back to her. And what happens? After a while, she gets mad, she gets frustrated. Now it's hard for her. It depends on her situation to have a babysitter. It's hard for her to have a social life again. She gets frustrated. She starts neglecting the baby. She gets so fed up to the point where she ends up killing the baby. And it's all, you know, it's a cycle that we have to break. You know? But, you know, the end result is our women should have a maternal instinct in them to say, no, this is my kid. You know what? Because truth be told, that's the instinct every woman is supposed to have. If the man's not there, if the man picks up, let's say the husband dies or passes away for whatever reason, the woman have to be strong to carry that family. You know? Until she finds somebody else. You know? You know, taking and giving up is not an answer. It's no excuses. But a lot of women, if y'all was in ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we would teach y'all to be women. First of all, y'all wouldn't have to worry about having a man. You know? Y'all wouldn't have to worry about that because y'all will get one. But understand that you have to come back to the Lord. All that will come into play. The main thing is getting yourself right. The thing is on these law, statutes, and commandments. The main thing is to fear the Lord. You know? To put faith in your Lord. To have love for the Most High. And your brothers and sisters. You know? And to follow every last law, statute, and commandment that's in there. But the society allows us to do things like abortions. Society is giving pills, like I read in that article earlier, if you just tuning in. We can't fall victim to what is being put out there. Because if we tied up and our oppressor puts poison in our face, are we going to sit because it's there? And this is how our oppressors gets us when they put all these different agencies, and I'm gonna sidebar for a second, agencies in front of us: family court, criminal court, Planned Parenthood, you know, and when I say family court, you know, that's child support and so forth. They put welfare. They put all these things here. Now, they put all these agencies there, but they don't force us. They don't force our women to use it. What they do is they put that temptation, they put that lust, they put that, you know what, that's easy money. It's an easy way out. So I have to deal with him. I can start getting checks, or he can start paying. Deal with him, I could get with this other dude. You know, it put these things in their head. Why? Because the Most High had deprived her of wisdom, our women of wisdom, you know, and imparted her understanding, you know. Why a woman cannot lead a nation. A woman cannot sit here and teach. Why? A woman can teach. The only thing a woman can teach is whatever her skill set is, if she's in a profession or something. But when it comes to these scriptures, when it comes to handling the work, a woman can't do that. Up here, it's our job as men to bring back these black households. Tribes, the black, Latino, Native Indian households. How you do that? Coming back to following these laws, statutes, and commandments. But I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna do Wisdom of Solomon. I'm going to another scripture. Wisdom of Solomon, 12:5. Just bear me 1 second. I'm going to start from 1. Okay. For thine incorruptible spirits is in all things. Therefore, chasten thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance, wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Most High. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hast had for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also, and also those merciless murderers of children, and devourers of man's flesh, and the feast of blood. When you have abortions, when you sit there and you're smoking weed and using drugs or dealing drugs, that's dealing with witchcraft right there. When these women getting high, they in the strip club, you know, they getting pregnant, they just throwing the babies away like they throwing money. They just throwing it and making it rain, you know? When they sitting there doing that, you know, killing babies, whether their baby is already born or in their stomach, that's merciless. If you can sit there and just have an abortion and be, a couple days later, you up in the club, you know, or however long it takes for them to go through the process, you're merciless, you're evil, and you're wicked. If you can sit here this month, have an abortion for this dude, go to the club next month, and just start having abortions like that, you are a murderer. You are filthy. But guess what, though? You can change your ways, though. Just stop what you're doing right now. Don't do that no more. Don't murder our babies, the Lord's babies. Help bring back these young prince and princes. Help bring them back. Help build this nation. That's what the Lord wants us to do. Lord do not want us murdering our babies. We need to understand that. Now drop that. I'm going to go into Isaiah 49 and 14. Okay, and it says, but Zion said, the Lord had forsaken me, and my Lord had forgotten me. Can a woman forget her suckling child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee? Understand that the Lord, the Most High tells you, if you hurt the smallest of my flock, of my people, I'm paraphrasing, you would be the smallest in the kingdom of heaven, you know? You'll be the least in the kingdom. If you mess with the least of my people, you'll be considered least in the kingdom of heaven. Understand that our babies that's our people. When you hurt our babies, you're hurting the Lord's people. Understand that the Most High do not tolerate that. That is evil. And you know, you have to be a real evil. You have to be somebody that is really destroyed to have an abortion and not blink an eye. That means you're hurting. Sisters out there, if you're hurting, we have counsel. We have counsel like there's no excuse. You need somebody to talk to. We are here for our people. Because if you could be that cold-hearted to just get rid of a baby like it's nothing, then that means you're hurting. Something was done to you. Something have destroyed you. And understand that we understand this. We understand this. If you're hurting, call us. There's numbers. You get on the website, ISUPK.com. You name it. You get on the phone. You call. You talk about it. We will counsel you through anything, whether it's past situations to recent, because we understand. Because every black, Latino, and Native Indian, brother and sister, old and young, we're being oppressed. We are a nation that's not desired. We are hated. It's not just you. So whatever you going through, whatever you feeling, where you feel like the whole world is against you, understand that ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana is here for you. You have loved ones locked up in jail. Understand we got the prison programs, that we can reach out. We have food drives. Look, we're here for our people. We don't just say it, we mean it. We're out here putting in this work for the Lord and for our people. Because this is love. This is brotherhood right there. You don't have to worry about being taken advantage of, because we don't do that here. Understand that. Now, I'm going to get into Isaiah, Exodus 23:2. Spare me 1 second. Okay. Now, Exodus 23:2, it says, Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle judgment. Now, you shall not follow the multitude to do evil. When you become part of this world, this society, when you don't separate yourself from this society, you are following the multitude of evil. Because when you look on the TV set, when you look on the internet, if somebody's not doing something that's against the Lord, whether it's using drugs, something sexual, something that's degrading the man or the woman, something that is going against these laws, statutes, and commandments. When you become a part of this world, of this society, what that does is you're gonna follow on, from dressing to drug use to wanting the big mansions and the cars just so you can drive around and make more whores of the daughters of Zion, and just look down on your brothers and sisters that's struggling, that's trying to, just trying to survive every day. When you sit there and do that, you are following the multitudes, because guess what? That looks cool. Damn, sitting here trying to wake up the next person. This is the mentality of a lot of our people that's out there. Damn, that ain't my problem. That's their problem. That mentality, that means you have self-hatred. You are a traitor. You hate the Most High. You hate our King that died, Yahushua Mashiach, which y'all know is Christ. You hate your brothers and sisters. You hate your damn self. You hate your people. Because if you could turn around and say that's not your... No, that's our problem. Any brother and sister that's being afflicted or anything's happening to them, it's happening to us. If you're black, Latino, or Native Indian, it's happening to us. We're feeling it. Why? Because we are a nation not desired. We are one body, one spirit, one mind. We have love for our people. Us teaching these classes online, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, when you see us online teaching these classes, that's because we love our people. When you see us on these street corners out there teaching our people, that's love for our people. Why? Because that's the job that we are supposed to do. That's the job of an Israelite, a priest and prophet of the Lord. That's our job. Now, let me Let me see. Let me scratch that. I'm gonna get into Deuteronomy 5 and 17. Okay. It's simple. We all know this one, and I mentioned earlier. Thou shalt not kill. That's pretty simple. Thou shalt not kill. What I don't understand is in the minds of anybody that agrees with abortions, what makes you think that's not killing a baby when you have to pull and suction out and get all the parts of the baby after they take a pill or after they inject the baby? Like, what do you think that is? When the baby have to be sucked out of you, and body parts and all that, pieces of the flesh, you know? What do y'all think that is? You know? That's murder. Scriptures tell you in Deuteronomy 5 and 17, thou shalt not murder. But why do we still choose to do this? This has been going on for years. Years, you know? This has been going on, you know? This has been going on since, I want to say the 70s, yo. This has been going on since that Planned Parenthood, you know? Thou shalt not kill, you know? Having an abortion, you're killing that baby. There's no way to slice it. You're killing that baby. You know, it's one thing if at birth the baby dies naturally in the mother's stomach, then that's, you know, that's not your fault. But to willfully do that, to sit there and say, you know what, I don't want this baby, I'm not going to let this hold me down, you got to answer to the Most High for that. And given that this pandemic is going on, the only thing I would say is may the Lord be with you. If you're not in these classes, if you're not sitting here trying to come back to try to have the Lord forgive you for committing not just abortions, amongst any other sins that you've created, something's not right. If you still relying on this government and think that this government have your best interests, something's wrong with you. You are really beyond spiritually broken down. You're spiritually and physically broken down to the point of, I mean, all things possible given to the Most High, you know? But you're broken down like that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It can be done, you know? Don't use you being broken down to that point to say, oh, well, it's a lot of work, I don't want to do it. No. Come back to the Lord. You know? Come back to the Most High. Come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord set out for us. Come back. Just follow them. You can follow the instructions on that kit for the abortions, that tele-abortion kit. You can sit there and read them simple instructions. You can read these scriptures. You get the King James Version, you know, the 1611, you know. You can read. They have them in the bookstores. You can order them, you know. You can download them, you know. It's no excuse. It's just that simple. You can sit there, you know, if a car's coming, you know to stop, you know, the red light, green light, you know. You know, if something's hot, common sense, use your head. You see fire there, you're not going to put your hand in fire. It's that simple. Law, statutes, and commandments is that simple. But you know what? Satan have you feeling like actually doing wicked is easier and it's an easy way out. In actuality, is actually is a horrific way out, because that you're setting yourself up for death. You keep having these abortions. If you're on here and you hearing that you're not supposed to be doing that and you're still doing that, may the Most High have mercy on you. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, really the women, but the men too. If you're forcing women, you're sleeping with them and you're forcing them and you're persuading them to abort that baby, you are even more wicked. Shame the hell on you. You're less than you're nowhere near man. You're a coward. If you're putting this into women that you're sleeping with, knocking them up and telling them to get rid of it, you are a coward. You are a jellyfish. Now let me get I'm going to Matthew 28, 5 and 21, because that also tells you, basically about the murder. Just goes into a little more, but this is Yahushua Mashiach talking. But he said, "Ye have heard it. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in the danger of the judgment." Now, that one right there is more heavy and more in detail. Why? Because that last part, it said, "Whosoever shall kill shall be in the judgment, but shall be in the danger of judgment." Understand that y'all can sit here and say, "Oh, well, the government," or what's that, Surgeon General. I'm just making that up, but you can say the government or Surgeon General, whoever puts out that it's all right and it's safe. You can sit there and think and listen and think that listening to them is 100% accurate. Nah, anybody that say that abortions is okay, it's all right. The only time it's all right is if, like I said, if you have a miscarriage. That's different. If you, even if you're raped, that baby had nothing to do with it. The baby didn't ask to be there, but the baby's there. Understand that you don't abort the baby. Now understand that you was violated, and the Lord will see that and will see you through. But if you become pregnant off of somebody raping you, understand that baby is here. That's one of the Lord's children, especially if it's a black, Latino or Native Indian. That baby is here. That baby, you are not to kill that baby. The baby didn't ask to be there. At the end of the day, we have to do better as a people. We have to evil, disgusting dodo bird. Understand that. I really want to say something else, but I'm gonna leave it for later. I'm gonna go into Deuteronomy 8 and 18. Okay, Deuteronomy 8 and 18. But thou shalt remember the Most High thy power, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth. Now I'm going to read that again. It said, but thou shalt remember the Most High thy power, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth. The Most High gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is in this day. The Most High, he gives thee power. He gives thee power to get wealth. The Most High allows you to get wealth. The Most High is the creator of all things. The Most High give it, and the Most High take it away. What are you chasing when the Most High tells you, don't murder, don't get rid of these, don't, to love and to cherish and to, follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. With these women out here that think they're getting a baller and they're going to abort their kids and then run into, this baller that's just going to take them. You think the Most High is going to allow you to live lavish, and after you done murdered how many of his children by aborting them? Most High's not gonna allow that, man. I'm gonna read it from the middle right there. It says, well, I'm gonna read from the beginning. But thou shalt remember the Most High thy power, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. Excuse me. Look, at the end of the day, you're chasing is vanity. At the end of the day, you're chasing vanity, because the Most High is the one that's going to give you what you're chasing. The Most High is the one that's going to allow you to reap the benefits of this world. What this world is. But understand that the Most High, he don't give a damn really about what's going on in this world, because this is our oppressor's kingdom. But the Most High would allow you to live. The Most High wouldn't put you in situations where you run into a baller and he sit there, you had every abortion in the world, you think he's going to take care of you. He's throwing you money because money's nothing to him. But then he ends up beating your ass. He ends up beating you every day when he walks in, because he got issues, underlying issues he's never dealt with. And you thinking you're going to be living this lavish life, excuse me, the Lord will put you through hell. I've seen it, Now, have mercy on the Lord, who the Lord have mercy on. But understand, good things usually don't happen. Now, the Lord may have mercy on you, but highly unlikely you're going to go through something if you don't come back to the Lord. If you don't come back and repent for them sins, for them abortions that you had, for sleeping with every possible man out there that you can, for taking advantage of men that sincerely was trying to make an honest woman of you. The Lord will get you back. He will. But understand, repent. If you come back, all your whole slate will be cleaned. Understand that. Because the Most High, at the end of the day, he don't want you to have abortions. He wants you to keep building and building and building his people, his nation, the nation of Israel. You know, the Most High wants us to do that. Sitting here, babies is not the answer. The Most High don't want that. He wants us to multiply. Now I'm gonna go into Genesis 1:28. Say that a little fast. And the Most High, I'm starting 27. So the powers created man in his own image, which is God. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female. He created them. Excuse me. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. I'm going to say that again. And God blessed them. Male, he created them. And God said unto them, the Most said unto them, excuse me, I'm going to start at the beginning. And the Most High blessed them, and the Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. I'm going to say that again. Verse 28. And God and the Most High blessed them. I'm going to start at 27 again, because I'm really going to drill this in y'all. So the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him. Male, and female. Created he them. And the Most High blessed them. And the Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And multiply. He didn't say to kill. He clearly states, thou shalt not kill. But following the ways and following the evils of the multitude, like I brought out earlier, is not being fruitful and multiplying. It is subtracting from the Lord's people. Every year we have, was it like 400, 500,000, maybe even more, 700,000 abortions a year? You know how many of our people are dying? You know how many of our babies are dying in the hands of our oppressors? And our people just don't see it. The men don't care, because as long as we have women out there that's just going to put up and then sleep with the men and then sleep with them unprotected, you know? Then they wake up, because guess what? Because that potion, that witchcraft, that drugs that they're on, the weed, the pills, whatever they take these days, you know, puts them in a mind state that they're not even themselves, to the point where the next morning when they wake up, they regret being in that state. But then it's too late. And guess who suffers? That baby that's being murdered, that you're killing when you go to them clinics. That baby is dying. Why? Because of you being irresponsible. Because you sitting there and you couldn't fight the flesh. You couldn't sit there and say, you know what? I know I'm feeling a little, feeling like, I want to get it on, but you couldn't fight and be disciplined. Anybody considers having fun, the Lord considers that abominations, sins, transgressions against the Most High. Don't transgress against the Most High. Do not abort your babies. The Most High tells you to be fruitful. Why? Because they don't want to have a belly, or they don't want to have a baby holding them down from doing what they have to do. See, the problem with our people is the Black, Latino, and Native Indians is we don't hold ourselves accountable for our actions. And accountability is what's going to help us, is going to put us in the right track towards breaking this monotony, breaking this cycle that we have. Let me see. Let me get Psalms 127 and 3. Being accountable, holding ourselves and being accountable for our actions is going to help, because we need to be truthful with ourselves. We can't sit there and point the fingers. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to sit there and man up, woman up to our actions and our behaviors, because you know what? At the end of the day, what does the scripture say? The truth will set you free. At the end of the day, you get that whole load off your back. When you can sit there and be honest with yourself, then you're on the right track. When you can sit there and hold yourself accountable and say, you know what? Damn, I messed up. I messed up real bad. When you can sit there and do that and be honest and, hold yourself accountable for that, then it's like, man, then the Lord, he's going to lighten you up, lighten your heart, lighten you, and before you know it, and when I say lighten your heart, meaning you're not going to be on the defensive, you're going to listen. Because the scriptures tell you, those that have ears, let them hear. Those that have eyes, let them see. Paraphrasing, And, like I said, accountability is what's going to steer you in the right track. Okay. Now I'm going to get into Psalms 127 and 3. It says, lo, it says, lo, children are an heritage of the Most High. I'm going to read that again. It says, lo, children are an heritage of the Most High, and the fruit of the womb. There's women out there that wish they can have babies, but apparently due to medical reasons, health reasons, or whatever, they can't bear. But you get a lot of women out here that are fertile as Lord knows what, and they just throwing these babies away like it's a pair of sneakers. Like they just wore the sneaker once and just got rid of it. Like I think they hold on to sneakers and shoes